Hello. What's up, everybody? It's Pikel with League of Items, and it's dark in here. Let me turn on a light. Clutch move. So we had some interesting matches yesterday in China. So the most expected outcome was World Elite 2-0 over LNG, and then LGD 2-0 over Rogue Warriors. Now, let's explain the reasoning behind that. World Elite against LNG. World Elite significantly better than LNG in almost every way. World Elite has some similarities with LNG in the fact that their bot lane is the more important lane in terms of carrying the game. So you figure when two teams play the same sort of style that the more talented team would win. LNG won game 1, and then World Elite won games 2 and 3. Pretty decisively. I mean, it wasn't a stomp or anything like that. Maybe game 3 was, but it was just, pretty solid play by World Elite overall. Then we get to LGD against Rogue Warriors, and this was very interesting to me because yesterday I was kind of making the same argument for why LGD should be able to beat Rogue Warriors because they play the same kind of style, and the team that is more talented playing that style should have the advantage. Now, spoiler, Rogue Warriors won this match. And I don't think it's because Rogue Warriors is a better team than LGD. I do think that it was mostly just the drafts, and Rogue Warriors played better than LGD did today. But again, I don't think that Rogue Warriors is a better team than LGD. So the questions we have to ask ourselves is, what went wrong in the draft, and why was a less talented version of LGD able to beat LGD? And I think part of that might actually have to do with LGD's playstyle. So I have talked about this extensively in the past. When you have two carry junglers going up against each other, the carry jungler that's in a losing position throughout the game is really not able to dictate what kind of happens in the game, and we will see that happen in these next two games. So maybe I didn't give enough credit to the chances of Rogue Warriors being able to establish early game leads and snowball those effectively. But again, I don't think that would have really been an option if the drafts were done a little bit more intelligently. I just don't think they had good drafts on the side of LGD. So first overall, we have Syndra. Syndra is a very strong champion right now. She's continuously picked on almost every single patch by multiple teams because her ultimate is kind of ridiculous, and when she snowballs and gets far ahead, she feels very oppressive. Is it first pick worthy? I would say probably not. You're basically just giving away a free counter pick for no reason. I don't understand why you wouldn't do something like pick Ornn. I don't understand why you wouldn't pick Graves or Nidalee. Peanut plays both of these champions. I don't know why they didn't just take a good carry jungler first overall and then kind of let the draft play out from there, because at least you understand how the game is going to flow from that point. I think that's one of the best reasons to pick a jungler early in the draft, is because you'll be able to build your team composition around the jungler's strengths and weaknesses. And kind of determine how the game will flow off of that, instead of having to just shoehorn a jungler into a team composition. So I think that's one thing to take into consideration. Next up, we had Ashe and Graves from the side of Rogue Warriors. Graves, obviously one of the strongest picks on this patch, one of the best junglers in this meta. Ashe, very popular champion, and also blocks out a couple of the popular 80... Not blocks out, contests a couple of the other 80 carries that are in this meta by either outscaling them or just providing some things to the team, like through utility. So Ashe with her ultimate, very strong champion. Not very strong champion. Ashe is a strong champion and is situationally very strong around specific kinds of fights. Her ultimate is very impactful. The long range stun is potentially game winning in different scenarios. Like, it can start a team fight on very favorable footing. So next up we have Jhin and Ornn. So I think the most important question we have to ask ourselves is, do Ornn and Jhin make sense together? And I think the answer is yes, because Jin has a long range ultimate, and Jin has a long range root. So Syndra has long range pick potential. Jin has long range pick potential. Ornn has his ultimate, which can control choke points, can kind of swing team fights, can engage from a long ways away. So these are all good things that kind of blend together. So nothing wrong from that kind of perspective, but it really just seems like they're missing a lot of damage from their team composition. Jin, when he gets pretty far ahead, will deal a lot of damage in spurts. Like, he's a burst champion that depends on reloading his charges to get off a second round of auto attacks. But it's going to fall off in the late game. It will not be as strong as Ashe. So by picking Jin, LGD is saying, hey, if you guys want to try to outscale us, go ahead, try to outscale us. We're going to fight you over every dragon. We're going to fight you over every Rift Herald. We're just going to try to beat you in early game team fights and snowball hard. Which is a reasonable game plan when you're the better team, the more talented team in this kind of meta. But we'll have to see if they actually follow through with that. Next up, we have Wuming on Galio. I think there was a hair in my glass. This is bugging me out. I'm going to go viral for the phantom hair in my glass. So Galio, very strong pick in this composition. It has follow-up engage on the Ashe ultimate. It can Galio can ult on top of Graves. Very strong combination. Then they started banning out junglers. So one of the obvious answers to Graves is Lee Sin, because Lee Sin has ways to play around Lee Sin in the early game, create an early lead. We'll always be able to get picks and stuff like that. It's a playmaking champion. Peanut is very good at Lee Sin. So they decided to ban that away. Interestingly enough, Rogue Warriors picks up Bard. So Bard does a lot of things to counter what LGD wants to do, and it also offers more long-range initiation. It can set up very easy Ashe ultimates. It's pretty strong in the laning phase. So I think it's just a very strong pick overall. I love Bard. I don't play Bard myself. I've never spent the time to learn the champion. I think it does take a decent amount of time to learn the ins and outs of the laning phase with him. But it does seem like a champion that I would love to play and should pick up. I like the pick of Bard here. Then they had Nautilus and Olaf. So these are two more strong early game picks that are signaling they want to fight early and often. So then last up we have Camille. So Camille is a good top lane champion, a good carry champion that is very good with Galio, because her ultimate creates a zone that is encompassed by Galio's ultimate and will do an AoE ultimate, an AoE crowd effect, like an AoE knockup. That's going to hit everybody that's in the zone. So Camille basically gets a free laning phase against Ornn, and if she can get ahead of Ornn, it'll become kind of insane. So early in the game, we get a few ganks that result in 2 kills top lane. So basically, I'll just show you actually what they did, because it's a pretty smart strategy. It's really more of a solo queue kind of strategy. So let's back it up. All right. So basically what's going on here is Ornn's wave is pushed into Camille's tower for some reason. This is not the kind of thing that is necessary to happen. Ornn should be able to control his wave better than this. Even sees Graves coming in, so now it's Ornn's time to run away. Unfortunately, there is no escape. So Longshi flashes and dies. Graves gets a return flash. But that's not the only issue. The issue is that Ornn instantly teleports back top lane, knowing that Graves is still in that river. This is a very risky decision, and a lot of the times in professional play, they are not going to be punished for that, because the jungler will just think to himself, there's going to be a play that happens somewhere else on the map, or I need to go help somewhere else. But they basically just do a return gank, and now Longshi is down. He dies twice, which is not good. The wave is still not in a great position, which is horrible. Gets a return kill, that's fine, but not great. LGD dives bot lane, and then they trade 2 for 2. No, 1 for 2. So it was a failed dive, basically. So already it's looking pretty sketchy for LGD. They just looked shaky right from the beginning. Peanut looked pretty bad today. I'm not sure what was going on with that. But just didn't look like... he did not play well today. There's no doubt about that. So nothing's really happening. Nothing's happening. And this is kind of the upsetting thing about this match is Peanut was in both games, really. Peanut was continuously in the wrong spots on the map. So Peanut was clearing a camp topside. And because of that, Rogue Warriors is able to take a dragon for free, which is never good. The game was relatively slow. LGD picks up the Rift Herald, and I mean, this just drives me insane. Like, we're gonna take a look at Ornn dying again, or no, Ornn actually lives from this. But just like so many teams just don't understand when they should be using Rift Herald. It blows my mind. One of the best reasons to pick Bard is to stop Rift Herald from being used in the mid game. So right now, like, it's just really frustrating. So every time that Bard is basically not on the map, it means that Bard can respond to wherever you drop Rift Herald by throwing his ultimate onto the tower when Rift Herald's about to charge. That prevents the other teams from getting 300 gold. It prevents the tower from taking that additional amount of damage from the charge. And it's just really a big oversight that a lot of teams kind of fall into. LGD picks up the second Drake, which is fine, but this is what I'm talking about. See? So they know Bard is standing right in that lane. Why are you dropping the Rift Herald in Bard's face like that? Like, there's a 0% chance. There's a 0% chance that you are able to get the damage onto the mid tower. Like, you need to use this top lane or something. You need to make a secondary play. You need to send your bot lane top with the jungler, do a 4-man dive on Camille, drop Rift Herald, take a tower, and go one tower for one tower or something. Like, they're just trying to throw it at mid lane for no reason. I mean, there are reasons to throw it mid lane. Like, if you want to kind of eliminate that tower so that Galio doesn't have a free wave to collect and has to, like, collect the wave further back, and it makes it more difficult to roam. But it's just stupid, like, not realizing that Bard's going to be able to shut off the tower and not take damage. It's just so frustrating. LGD manages to take the first tower of the game, bot lane, and then also takes another tower in the mid lane. So that was a huge power swing for LGD. It was a very good play by them to kind of get first tower, considering they shouldn't have been able to get first tower. Then we get a random kill in the mid lane, a random kill top lane. We get another tower in the bot lane. Rogue Warriors takes a tower top, but an outer tower is more important than an inner tower. Like, one of the analysts, Lyric, was a coach for a professional team. I don't understand what he's talking about. Like, there were a few times in this game where a tier 1 was traded for a tier 2. A tier 1 is exponentially better than a tier 2. I don't know what kind of argument you could actually make for a tier 2 being more significant, because when the tier 1 is gone, the wave is going to settle on the other side of the map. When the tier 2 is gone, it's just going to settle a little bit further on that side of the map. The amount of gold is actually less for the second tower than the first one, I believe. So I just really don't understand why they were so critical of a tier 1 trade for a tier 2 in one of the games and not the other one. Just kind of bizarre. So we have another dragon coming up. Where's Peanut? All right, Peanut is on the dragon. They get that one for free. So LGD is down 2 kills, but they're up 1,500 gold, up 2 towers, and up a dragon. This is a position that most teams can convert from, and I think LGD can definitely convert from this position as well. But for some reason, it just didn't happen this game. LGD takes another tower. So here we are. It's this is when they were complaining about tier 1 for tier 2. So now they're up 1.5k gold. They have the 2 tower advantage, but it's only going to last a little while. It's actually going to be a 1 tower advantage. But the game is really going to be decided around like the next dragon or so. So this was a return tower taken by Camille. which is pretty good. They weren't able to get Camille on the end of that. Doesn't really matter. Like, the getting a kill in that spot isn't going to change the game. Ornn dies again, so Longshi is just getting destroyed in this match. And because they make this aggressive counter TP into this, they kind of bait themselves into looking for a fight. So Ashe hits a long-range ultimate. The ultimate lands onto Syndra, and now it's even gold still. Dragon's coming up in a minute. You've burned a couple of summoners. It's going to make it more difficult to fight the dragon. Like, Syndra doesn't have flash now. So Ornn has 2 items, but doesn't really matter. Like, the thing about tanks in League of Legends is that you cannot force the other team to hit you most of the time. Which is kind of one of the funny things about League of Legends. Ornn, when you need to kill, like, at the end of a fight, when you need to kill Ornn, yeah, he's going to be really tanky, but if he gets caught out in the beginning of a fight, or if he's trying to peel for his AD carry, like, he's never someone that you have to attack. Which is just weird. So this is a huge mistake that we're about to see. Alright, let's just play it slower. Alright, so basically, let's just pause it real quick. I'm going to slow it down. Okay, so right now, LGD has the better positioning around the Dragon Pit. During the draft, we said a few things about how LGD's team composition makes sense. And one of the things was getting picks, the other thing was fighting in choke points. Both of those things are options right now. So right now, they're on the dragon. They're focusing on the dragon. Rogue Warriors they're all going to walk through this pit, this pathway right here. Right when they're in this position, Longshi should be ulting all 4 of these players. It's a very simple ultimate right here. Just ult. Use the horn. Do I make you Oni, baby? The answer is yes. Use your ultimate. Right there. In the spot. Just use it. Use the ultimate. You should use your ultimate now. Use your ultimate. But they don't do that. Because they want to make us lose money. So that's a gigantic missed opportunity. Now you can do it in this area right here, but the amount of space that they have to kind of run back and forth is obviously much more significant in the river. So if, like, let's say Syndra and Jhin were more focused in this direction, Olaf can take a dragon by himself. Like, it's a very good champion at taking dragon. All they had to do was set up around this choke point, use Ornn's ultimate, use Jin's W. You can even have Jin waste his ultimate there, and it's going to be fine because you're going to get the dragon and back off. What do they do instead? They do this stupid dragon dance that all these professional teams do that doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you allowing them to get into the dragon pit? You're giving them the opportunity to contest this dragon for no reason. So Bard lands his ultimate, which is followed up by an Ashe ultimate. Ashe's ult ends up hitting Kramer, which is very bad, because Kramer's a gigantic chunk of your damage, because you picked Jhin into Ashe to fight dragons, and then you're just not even doing anything. It just blows my mind. So now Ashe is doing a bunch of free damage. Syndra has not ulted anybody yet. Galio gets a great ultimate into the fight because they were allowed to determine when Galio ulted offensively instead of LGD forcing a defensive Galio ultimate, which would have been a game changer. So, I mean, it's tough to say that this ends the game, but this kind of ends the game. And the other thing that just blew my mind is this guy, Lyric, was talking about Jin's items versus Ashe items. Now, finished items do have a higher gold efficiency than unfinished items, but when Jhin finishes quote-unquote 2 items, and it's a Storm Razor and a Rapid Fire Cannon, do you actually think that I should be afraid of this champion? Like, it's a win more champion. It can engage from a long ways away, but like, why are you comparing those 2 Zeal items to a Blade of the Ruin King with a Zeal? Like, the amount of gold that it requires to buy those items is relatively similar. And once Ashe finishes her second item, she's going to be more powerful until Jhin finishes his third item, probably, or maybe even 3.5 items. Like her ability to fight within her team composition is just better than Jhin because she's going to be doing more consistent damage than the Jhin. So that sustained damage is going to, like, increase not increase the gold efficiency, but she's using the gold more often in the fight. It's kind of a weird concept to kind of try and explain. But yeah, so I mean, at this point, Camille is gigantic. She already has her Triforce and her Ravenous Hydra. She's going to be able to push down side waves whenever she wants. Yeah, just pretty frustrating game to watch from LGD's perspective. So LGD, they make a play onto the Camille. Like, congratulations, you got 300 gold. Big deal. Now we have another dragon fight starting. And again, this just kind of highlights the relative strength of Jin and Ashe. So dragon is coming up, right? Which team do you think benefits more from getting the mountain dragon? Do you think it's the team that has several tanks? Do you think that an Ornn or an Olaf or a Nautilus would benefit from getting the additional magic resistance and armor? I think so. So when you're Rogue Warriors, not only are you getting a Mountain Dragon, you're denying a Mountain Dragon from LGD, and you're increasing the timer of the game by another 5 to 6 minutes because you outscale them. Like, why would you not contest this? They go for a pick on Camille again in the top lane. Did they not know that Dragon was going on? Like, their call must have been, let's go top lane, kill Camille, and then we'll get Baron for free. That alone is a convoluted way to think of the game because there are options for Rogue Warriors to respond to that in the first place. But they give up mid priority. Great job, LGD. So you lose 2 towers because you lose a dragon and 2 towers because you decided to chase Camille instead of fighting the team that's going to outscale you. It just makes no sense. Very bad decision making from LGD here, and we haven't seen a lot of this extremely bad decision making from LGD throughout the split. When they win games, they look like they know what they're doing. When they lose games, they still often look like they know what they're doing. Yeah, so I mean, this game is over. Rogue Warriors turned that one around pretty easily, but I think it's mostly because LGD didn't play around the win conditions correctly. So when we go into the next draft, you know for a fact I'm going to tilt my face off when I see that they start picking the same champions that I know that they're going to mess up. Come on. Come on. Get into the draft. Yeah, good job, Wu Ming. You beat a bunch of idiots. Good game by him, though. 9 kills on Galio. It's pretty good. But yeah, Wu Ming is not a great player. This match should not have gone like this. So now Rogue Warriors is blue side, LGD is red side. LGD bans Aphelios, even though like they could just pick Ashe into it. I don't know if Rogue Warriors is really going to instant lock Aphelios, and if you don't have a plan to deal with Aphelios at this point, then you have to ban it, so I guess it is kind of reasonable. Rogue Warriors first picks Graves, and that's not good, because Graves is a good champion, and obviously LGD isn't comfortable with the Graves versus Nidalee matchup, because they were afraid of Haro picking Nidalee, and they would have been able to pick Graves in the response, so I don't know why they banned out the Nidalee. There's just something about that combination of champions that LGD is not comfortable with, which is pretty concerning, because their jungler is a carry jungler. They should be fine with all those matchups. So we have Graves, Galio, and Ashe, 3 of the same champions that just beat you down. You have Twisted Fate, so Twisted Fate you can create an advantage early in the game by going from side wave to side wave, but you need to use his ultimate effectively in order to build up a lead, because like Twisted Fate's power late game in like an actual front to back team fight is really questionable if he's not getting some kind of pick or creating pressure around the map. So that just instantly tells me that it's going to be a weird game. Peanut is on Lee Sin. Peanut is a good Lee Sin player. I don't have an issue with that. The Jhin pick, I understand the Jhin pick in this meta. Like you're kind of hoping to have another champion with long range pick potential. Like it does make more sense with Zoe, I think, and we have seen Zoe Jhin, I think, at this point in the season already. It is hot in my room right now. I need to turn on the fans. So they pick Nautilus. Nautilus Jhin against Ashe. Bard was banned away this time because LGD wanted to 4th pick Bard, so Rogue Warriors banned that away. Rogue Warriors picks up the Braum, which is going to be able to deal with it's going to be able to deal with Twisted Fate, the cards from Twisted Fate. It's going to be able to deal with a lot of Jin's abilities, including his ultimate, so it kind of invalidates his old ultimate. And then Wukong is just a pretty solid pick, especially when you have a Galio on your team. So you have Rogue Warriors with a Wombo combo. Happy feet. And yeah, that is very scary to kind of see. Kennen, we've seen it a few times in the LCK, and we know there are problems with the Kennen pick. It does make sense against Wukong because it's a magic damage dealer, and magic damage dealers are good against Wukong. But it is somewhat difficult to find entry points into team fights sometimes. So LGD does a good job trading in the early game. But again, this game is going to be all about the dragons. Both teams kind of picked champions that are going to be good at these dragon fights and stuff. So let's see what happens. Let me pause this real quick. Got to turn on the fan. Alright, so Rogue Warriors is on Dragon. Why were we not able to contest the Dragon? And this was when I knew I was screwed. I knew that my day on DraftKings was over right when this happened. So we have Dragon on the map. Dragon is on the map, okay? Do you understand what I'm telling you right now? There is a Dragon on the map. They're getting ready to fight Dragon. Kennen has teleport. Wukong doesn't have teleport. Wukong has to walk down from top lane, while Kennen can teleport into a flanking position onto the Dragon. So what we would expect is all of LGD posturing around the Dragon. But that doesn't happen, does it? No, it does not. They have a 500 gold lead. They picked an early game team composition to contest these dragons. And then Peanut just goes to his Raptors. Peanut goes to clear a camp. Like, what are you doing? It's just unbelievable. Like Peanut is up in this direction over here, killing an NPC that respawns often. And it's just going to give away this dragon. It was mind-blowing. But it's not even just that. If it was a concerted team effort to give up this dragon, then at least that would make sense. But look at what happens. Twisted Fate is just walking around. Nautilus is walking around. Lee Sin is not even close to being in the right spot for this play. So now, Twisted Fate is in a bad spot. Nautilus is in a bad spot. All they have to do is engage onto one of these champions, and then you're burning summoners. So now TF doesn't have flash. Like, what are you doing? This makes absolutely no sense. Now Lee Sin is finally responding. The entire time, Kennen has not been looking for a teleport into the fight. It's just mind-blowing. So what do you do, basically? You give up a flash and a dragon so that Longshi can get a small advantage in top lane plus a turret plate. Like, is that turret plate going to win you the game? No. Can the other team playing around dragon win the game? Yes. Like why would you not contest the dragon? It makes absolutely no sense to me. No sense at all. So this was a really slow game too. So like, I don't know what was going on. So LGD was looking to make a play in the bot lane. That didn't end up happening. They're up 1.2k gold. So I was kind of thinking maybe we have a chance in this game, but I mean, I should have known better. Like after that first dragon. Okay, so now, what were we talking about the other day? We said within 1 minute, teams are always going to be looking to make a play so they can get the dragon for free, or they're going to be looking to clear out vision, or they're going to look to posture around dragon for a fight. So LGD is walking around for fun, just having a jolly old time in the river. Good ward coverage by Rogue Warriors. You kind of have to give them credit for this. But look at what Galio does. So Galio knows where Lee Sin is. Galio is going to maneuver himself into the jungle and say, "Hey, Lee Sin, What's up? You want to give us another dragon? Yeah, you do? Okay, well then come get taunted and die. And that's exactly what happens. First blood goes over to Graves, the second dragon goes over to Rogue Warriors, and now you've got to be sweating bullets if you've picked LGD in your DraftKings lineups. This is a feels bad man situation. So LGD is looking to make a play onto the bot lane. Wukong comes in. Everybody, literally everybody from LGD responds. They get one kill, and this was another mistake that they made. Why are you not pushing this tower? You've already taken a few of the plates from this tower, and the chances of Rogue Warriors successfully defending this tower seems pretty low to me. So Graves is able to farm the entire top side of Lee Sin's jungle. Not the entire. He doesn't get red buff. And he ends up dying. But this is a stupid play. You should be looking for the first tower in the bot lane. First tower bot lane is more important than a kill on the Graves. So they don't take the tower there. They do get a decent amount of damage on it, but they don't take the tower, and you get the additional gold for taking the tower. Rogue Warriors, this was an interesting fight. So I don't understand why now is the time that LGD is starting to look for a fight. So Mark is just walking around. He gets engaged on. Kramer is on Jin, who is a very mediocre champion. Longshi walks at the entire team, gets exhausted, still goes in for a flash ultimate like an idiot. I mean, that was a horrible play. That was a horrible play. Everything about that play was bad. Mark getting locked down, very bad. Jin having to flash away from Galio, very bad. Kennen getting exhausted and still flashing in for an ultimate, very bad. I mean, it was just a horrible, horrible match. I wouldn't be surprised if LGD overreacts to this loss and starts playing different top laners again, because Longshi did not look good today. I'm not saying they should get rid of him or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. So Haro going off at this point, and now we have a carry jungler who is ahead of the other jungler. He's up two levels right now, and it's very difficult for a jungler to get back those levels. So they're able to take the Rift Herald. That was just a replay of the fight. LGD is feeling desperate, and they're looking for some random ganks in the bot lane, which is never a good sign. This is another spot that was kind of concerning. So LGD, instead of just posturing around the dragon and saying, like, screw it, those two mid towers, we really don't care, we need to stop this dragon from happening, they send in Kennen. So Kennen responds to that. And this does, spoiler alert, end up working out for them, but I don't think it should have. So Longshi and Wukong are fighting in the back of the jungle. Wukong goes in. Kennen uses his ultimate, so that big, gigantic teamfight ultimate is now gone. But luckily, Rogue Warriors plays this teamfight pretty badly, and LGD is able to get a few kills. Am I going insane? I could have swore they got kills off of this. Okay, yeah, so Galio goes back in. That's a kill. Graves ult misses. They get another kill onto Ashe. They get the dragon. So at this point, it's like, okay, they've got they have more than a 2,000 gold lead. They get bot tower. They will eventually get mid tower. Like, you're feeling pretty good in this spot as well. But we've already seen some of the issues that LGD's composition has, the weaknesses that LGD's composition has, which is namely getting engaged on by the Wombo combo, which is exactly why you draft a Wombo combo. They should have been more prepared for the Wombo combo, is what I'm trying to tell you. So let's see what happens here. LGD is looking to make a play in the mid lane. It's not a horrible look. Like, if you're Lee Sin, you're just going to try to go in onto the Ashe and then insect her towards Nautilus. Twisted Fate comes in into a pretty dangerous position. Dangerous for him, not for the other team. Ends up getting killed easily by Ashe. And then we have more ultimates coming in, some teleports coming in. Rogue Warriors can chase this one down pretty easily. So now Wukong is getting on to several members of LGD. Peanut sneaks out, but they lose 2 members. They lose another tower, and they've burned some summoners from the other team. So now we have another dragon fight. How is LGD going to mess this one up? It seems inevitable at this point, right? So Peanut is on the dragon. Rogue Warriors is beginning to follow. And what do you know? The long range engage from Ashe is very impactful. So Wukong goes in, gets a double knock up. Galio follows in on the Wukong, which is why that's such a strong combination. Spins again, even more knockups. And that's very concerning when you're LGD and you're losing a team fight that decisively, when you have a gold lead and you should have had the positional advantage. You just didn't use it at all. You just didn't even care that you were winning the game at that point. There are not many champions that would be able to deal with that situation. There are a lot of immobile AD carries that would have been taken advantage of in that spot. You know who wouldn't have been taken advantage of in that spot is Ezreal, which was available. But who's mad? I'm not mad. You're mad. I'm not mad. Why would I be mad? So now we're at the 26-minute mark. And at this point, I just had this horrible feeling that I was doomed. So I was pretty sure that I was going to lose this one with LGD. In Discord yesterday, I said I wouldn't be surprised if Rogue Warriors took a game. I would be shocked if they won. But when I was watching the games, I wasn't shocked at all. I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Look at them. Look at how bad LGD's playing. So again, LGD is looking for some random-ass play in the bot lane. How could this possibly go wrong? You're diving a Wukong? Sure, let's do that. Alright, yep. Just eat a bunch of tower shots. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's a Galio. Uh-oh. Oop, that's a lot of tower aggro. Oh, and the Galio kills 2 people. Ooh, unlucky. So that's a 2-for-1 in the bot lane where you started it. It was a 3v2. You lost 2-1. And now you're giving up Baron. Congratulations, you gave up Baron. And once you give up Baron, you give up the game. Rogue Warriors is able to transition the Baron into a dragon. And this is a very good soul for them. The additional speed once you get your ultimate done. And then the game is over. I mean, I don't even want to watch the end of this game. The game is over. It doesn't matter. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sad. Unlucky. Sad boys. So just a stupid match from Rogue Warriors. They played like garbage. Let's see if we can find these. Let's see if we can find. Found it. Nope. We need the lineups. Here we go. All right, so we have E-Star against OMG. I haven't looked at the lines yet. I'm assuming OMG is the favorite by a decent amount. I would say probably minus 170. Oh, wait. We have a new player. Xiaobai, Wei, Fun, Rat, and Xiaoxi against Curse, Hacker, Icon, SMLZ, and Cold. Then we have JDG against Vici Gaming. Zoom, Kanavi, Yagao, Loken, Lumao against Cube, Leon, who they keep going back and forth between Leon and Aches. Zika, iBoy, and Hong. So Vici Gaming, they have looked better. They looked pretty good against Fun Plus Phoenix, but I do think that it had more to do with Fun Plus Phoenix not playing well than Vici Gaming playing exceptionally well. E-Star. Did I not get Fun Plus Phoenix? So I want to see who they played against FPX. So against FPX, Leon played the first game, and then Aches played games 2 and 3 when they won, and then they're going to go back to Leon, so they'll probably lose game 1 again, and then win games 2 and 3 when Aches comes back in. That's the only logical conclusion to draw from that one. So E-Star against OMG. Alright. Let me just look at this, the odds real quick. I'll let you know. Oh, actually, we have multiple matches tomorrow. Right? Let's take a look. Also, some people have been asking when we're putting out the golf content this week. It'll come out either today or tomorrow. I would assume... Actually, I should probably get it done today. Because I'm playing golf tomorrow. At a country club. Because I'm fancy. Fancy guy. That's what they call me. Pikel the fancy guy. So there are a couple more qualifiers tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to chase the 150. I might just go after the smaller qualifier seats. It depends on how I feel during roster construction later tonight. But I will probably need to reserve this seat earlier, actually. So we have Afrika Freaks against Gen G and Dynamics against Damwon Gaming. So I haven't looked at the lines yet. I'm going to try to guess what all of these lines are going to be. Afrika Freaks against Gen G. It'll be about 50-50. It'll be like 125 to 110 or something like that. Dynamics against Damwon Gaming. It'll be Damwon Gaming. Dynamics coming off of a good win. Maybe Damwon Gaming minus 180. Something like that. 180 to 200. E-Star against OMG. I think E-Star is the underdog, especially with the substitute now. So OMG should be minus 150. Minus 160. Vici Gaming against JDG. I think JDG should be minus 200. Let's see how close we are. Afrika Freaks against Gen G. Oh my god. Gen G is minus 300. What the hell? Wait, whoa. Wait a second. What? What is going on? What is that? Why? What? Why are Gen G such gigantic favorites? So maybe they're saying since Damwon Gaming was able to win... What is happening? These lines are insane. Minus 300 is 75% chance to win. Afrika Freaks is a pretty good team. Gen G against Afrika Freaks. Keen against Rascal. Keen's a better player than Rascal. Clid against Spirit. Clid's a better player. BDD against Fly. BDD's a better player. Ruler against Mystic. Ruler's a better player. Life or Kellen against Ben. That's relatively close. But Afrika Freaks has been good this split. Right? 2-0. Lost to Damwon Gaming. They were competitive against T1. Lost to DRX. So they must think that there is a gigantic gap between Afrika Freaks and the rest of the league. I think Afrika Freaks is a great real life bet tonight at plus 225. That's a great bet. If you don't feel comfortable with the match, look for at least one of those games. Look for game 1 or game 2. I would bet on game 1 or game 2 definitely. Or both. Like if you don't want to bet on the match, I would take whatever you were gonna bet on the match, split it in half, bet game 1. Bet game 2. Bet game 1. If they lose, bet game 2. That's what I'm trying to tell you to do. That rhymes. That rhymes. Damwon Gaming against Team Dynamics. Even after their win over T1, Team Dynamics with the immense disrespect from the sportsbook. That's insane. Plus 530. That gives them a 16.5% chance to win. At worst. At worst, it should be a 30% chance, which is plus 233. So let's just make sure I'm not taking crazy pills. Spoiler alert. I'm taking crazy pills. Dynamics has beaten KT Rolster 2-0, had a close match against the Freak of Freaks, beat Solhewan Prince 2-1, beat Hanma Life 2-0, lost to DRX, lost to Sandbox. The Sandbox loss hurts. Lost to Genji, which hurts, but they beat T1. T1 did look pretty bad, but they're giving absolutely no credit to Dynamics at 16.5% chance to win this match. So again, if you don't feel comfortable with betting on them to win the match outright, look for spots to bet them in Game 1 or Game 2. That is insane to me. Those lines are way off. E-Star against OMG, that's the 50-50 I was talking about. JDG against Vici, I said what? Minus 200? It's minus 350. So that is another 10 points that you're getting, basically. 10 percentage points. Vici Gaming against JDG. So this, I mean, I want to apologize to all the JDG fans out there, because I put them in the dirt when I started calling for regression. I didn't mean to put them in the dirt. So JDG, they've been taking care of business all split. I do think they win this matchup. If Vici Gaming is going to beat JDG, it's right now. Coming off a good win over Fun Plus Phoenix. I am concerned that they're not playing Aches in the first match. I do think Leon is better overall. Against Kanavi, it's going to be like Nidalee versus Graves, Graves versus Nidalee, Trundle versus whoever, Rek'Sai versus... Rek'Sai is actually pretty good against Graves and Nidalee. It's not as good of a power farmer, but in the head-to-head matchup, like if they can have some kind of early game skirmish, Rek'Sai can theoretically start snowballing and get ahead, and that's one of Kanavi's best champions, if not Kanavi's best champion. So it's a similar thing to the JDG to the LGD Rogue Warriors matchup, but Leon isn't as good as Haro, I don't think, at playing carry junglers. So maybe they're looking for stuff like Volibear. I don't know. Volibear is going to be a very heavily contested pick in that match. That's weird. I don't know why. Maybe they're playing Leon. Maybe they're playing Leon because they think that Leon is better at Volibear, and they'll need Volibear for the pick ban phase. Like, they'll need to be able to play Volibear for the pick ban phase. They gave it up in game 1 there. I feel like they've played it. Aches played it. Leon played it. Leon played it. Leon played it. Leon played it again. So maybe that's what it is. That's a weird reason, though. Yeah. So, like I said, Afrika Freaks against Genji, I think that line is way off. Afrika Freaks is definitely much more of a live dog than what it's being listed at. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit. But that number is still wrong. It'll be a closer match than that. Curse against Xiaobai. Curse had a pretty good match last time, even though OMG got beat pretty easily by LGD. Hacker against Wei. It's pretty close. Icon against Fun. I think Icon's a better player. SMLZ against Rat. This is a sub-risk for E-Star. Rat and Wink, I think it couldn't go back and forth unless it comes out that like Wink is hurt or sick or something like that. Cold and Xiaoxi, okay. JDG against Vici Gaming. Zoom is obviously better. Kanavi is obviously better. Yagao and Zika, I don't know. Maybe Zika is just as good, if not better, than Yagao. It wouldn't shock me. I don't think Yagao is that good. Loken against iBoy. Loken, I'm not a huge fan, but I still think he's better than iBoy. Lumao, good Bard player. Maybe we should be giving more credit to teams that play Bard, because it shows that they are smart. Playing around Rift Herald, the long range engage, a lot of good stuff from Bard at this point in time. Damwon Gaming against Dynamics. So Nogri and Rich. Rich is a poor man's version of Nogri. Canyon against Beyond. Canyon has been playing well recently. In the loss to DRX, I was really looking for Canyon to step up. Wasn't able to get the victory, so that was kind of sad. Showmaker against Kuzan. Showmaker is a much better player than Kuzan. Ghost against the Octom. Ghost a better player. Beryl against Cougar. I like Beryl because I like when Beryl plays Pantheon. So I do think that Damwon Gaming is the better team, but they're not minus 900. They're not minus 900 better. So that's probably just due to the amount of hype surrounding Damwon Gaming right now. So I think it might be time to start picking against them. Tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow's not Thursday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Oh my god. What a week. What a week. So that's basically it. I think today I'm going to try to make a video with Billy Von Elders, with the ego rankings. And then I also think I'll be making a video with Darren for golf. Maybe I'll just release that one tomorrow. So yeah, that's basically it. I think I will be streaming tonight. I've been feeling a little strange recently with like my whole sleep pattern. It's just been getting kind of thrown off because like I try to go to sleep early and then I can't really fall asleep, and then I get a couple hours of sleep and then I wake up and I watch League of Legends, and then I fall asleep at a random point during the day, and then I wake up and there's like a deer carcass in my backyard, and then like I'm covered in blood. Like I don't really know what's going on with that, but I'm sure it's fine, right? It's not like I'm a werewolf or anything. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Look out for my stream. Check me out on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, etc., etc. Check out the Patreon. Check out the Discord. A nice weekend of games coming up. The LEC is back in action. We've got some golf. What else is going on? Basketball is about 2 weeks away. There's a really cool millionaire maker for basketball. A $4 millionaire maker. So it's like $600. But we'll go over that when we get closer to the start of the NBA season. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later.